intentionally or unintentionally, you all have found yourselves within the little hamlet of Camarillo. And as you are traveling, whether you have came in through an interdimensional portal, which I'm guarantee a majority of you have, you have entered it again intentionally or unintentionally, and you're not entirely sure where you are. But when you pull into this, it's a smaller town. I mean, there are your typical, it's like a hotel, motel stops. There's a handful of
Holiday.
them. Yeah, there's a Holiday Inn. There's all of this. Do it.
Copyright. If you hit
Yep.
switch and take a friend. Anytime I
know.
hear motel, hotel, Holiday Inn,
Yes, it's
Pavlovian
true.
response.
It's
Gotta
true.
do it.
It's true. I also was. That's why. Thank you. But
We'll leave the light on for you.
right. But you guys are there. There is no reason to this, but if are any of you outside or air, I should say, have any of you already made your way in? Because what you are looking at is a bed and breakfast.
Marie would have already been set up in there after her exciting night 4. She is sequestered briefly in the bed and breakfast while the rest of her group is at a Holidays Inn not far down the road. Yonder.
Yonder. I love it. Okay. So you've been here, we'll say a day?
Yeah.
Okay. For everyone else, I am going to have you guys essentially get there all relatively around the same time. You feel pulled to this place. You're not entirely sure why, but you feel the dry heat against your face, comparable to that last day of second summer. The the cool wind in your hair, and as you stand outside, you smell the dust and petrichor, and the noticeably scent of marijuana in the air. And you
Sorry about
see
that.
you see a green shimmering light reflecting off of somewhere, but it is pulling you in. Standing outside, you feel a heaviness. It isn't anything unusual per se. It's more atmospheric, like the shift in the wind or the pressure of an incoming front. You have found yourself looking at a large metal sign swinging softly in the air, and the sign reads, "The House of Green and Gold Bed and Breakfast." And you all see this picturesque Victorian house. It's in rather perfect condition, considering that this is a noticeably older house. The outside is deep green with black outlining in each panel, and atop the highest peak sits a golden weather vane in the shape of a mermaid beginning to shift. Just under it, there are 3 pictures that look to be carved or shaped into the house. Do any of you try to really look at what they are?
Yeah, Jonesy's high as a fucking kite, so he's
He's like,
he's kind of just staring at everything.
Okay.
He's not even sure what state he's in.
Good. All right. You notice these are painted perfectly as if they were painted yesterday. Like there is not a chip, sign of wear and tear. But in these 3, what I would consider frames of the top floor, you see one is a picture of a galleon, which is a ship, sails up with oceans below it. And in the second one, you see a very familiar lighthouse. It's known as the Castle Hill Lighthouse. Um, and the third figure is outlined with black, cloaked in yellow robes, and behind him are red wings outstretched. And it's not menacing, it's beautiful. And a crown atop his head. And as your eyes are taking all of this in, Jonesy, you see a flash of lightning that spider webs across the sky. And it lights it all up as if to be the backdrop to this house. And you feel and hear, everyone hears this thunder. It is a crack of thunder so loud and deep that it like rattles your bones and your soul, like you feel it. And you swear when this flash of light happens that you see pentacles along the outside of the house moving as if the house itself had them, like it was a cephalopod and as if it were alive. I'm going to need you to make a sanity check.
Can I have advantage because I'm high?
Nope. Disadvantage. No.
A bad trip.
Okay, you just got a regular success. Okay. You are still going to lose 1 point of sanity.
Right. Okay. Wow. That's metal. Some good shit.
Gnarly.
Go ahead and describe Jonesy. Like, what's he look like?
Jonesy is about 23. He is fairly tall, about 6 feet. Long blonde hair. He is well muscled because a overcompensating father literally pushed him into every single sport. And so once he got out from under dad, he sort of went the other direction, but he still maintains that physique. Sort of non-threatening vibe. He's kind of just chill in there.
And you hear a motorcycle park. Duke, describe yourself.
So Duke is I guess wiry is probably the right word. White t-shirt, black motorcycle jacket, hair slicked back. Looks like he would be very much at home in the 50s. Has a his motorcycle is from that era. And yeah, Jonesy is not the only one who hears him. Everybody, like for a couple of blocks, hears him because this thing is loud. And he's also in kind of a bad mood because he got kicked out of the Holiday Inn for being a little bit too rowdy.
Under the Shriner policy.
Right. And Jill, are you walking? Are you driving a car?
She would be walking. She's not quite sure how she got here. But she's kind of adapted, I guess. But it's still not like she doesn't have the disposable income or anything to throw at like owning a car, or she probably hopped on a bus to get here, honestly.
Okay. As you are walking and you see this bed and breakfast, you your eyes are starting to feel heavy. You're feeling tired. And you're like, I've gotta find somewhere. Whatever reason you have chose place, whether it was the first thing you saw, or it was the last. Describe Jill for me, please.
Jill is a shorter female, probably like 5'3", 5'4". She's got light brown hair, and which comes down to about her shoulders. She keeps some of it up in a partial ponytail just to keep it out of her face. I think, I don't remember.
Okay, it
sure,
can be whatever
that's what she
you
looks
want.
like now.
It can be whatever you want.
She
This
does
is
wear
the 80s skin.
Yeah,
Right.
she has black rimmed glasses, and she has. Oh, hold on, I gotta tell my child to hush.
She has a child that needs to hush.
Apparently,
Right behind her.
shut up.
Shut up, neighborhood child! Yeah!
Stop following me.
Following me, God!
But yeah, she's just kind of got some normal street clothes, like the acid wash jeans,
Love.
vibrant shirt with the wild designs that they had.
Love.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Zoe, you you are not in your mech suit. You're not sure why that is, because you had it on when you went to where you were going. And you are you're definitely very confused by this. And you are also walking. And you are thinking you need to get a hold of somebody. Like, you have no idea where you're at. You have no idea what realm this is, what planet it is. Like, you have no clue. And you hear the thunder. And you are, I would say, just a few feet away, and you recognize that you can't stay in the rain. Can you please describe what Zoe looks like?
Yeah, for sure. Zoe definitely looks a little bit different here than she does over in Dustgrave, as she's back to her bubblegum pink hair, kind of up in little fun buns on top of her head. She's got a big set of headphones on that is constantly playing different anime theme songs and dance pop constantly. She uses a pair of bright pink crutches and is kind of dressed in a pink crop top and jeans. She wears like a pair of tennis shoes and is very, very petite. Like she looks like very small, very much a bright, happy cinnamon roll of a character.
Love it. I love all of it much. So yeah, you guys have all made your way here, and you're all kind of shuffling in. When you go in and you hear the ding, doorbell chime. You are all walking in, and it you hear a few go off. Um, and you're all kind of standing there, and as the last of you step in, it starts pouring rain, and you feel, not only are you thrilled that you are not soaking wet, none of you, that you are also thrilled to just have found some place to go. Um, you all are greeted by an older woman in her 60s. She's wearing a button-up golden silk t-shirt, high-waisted slacks, like very reminiscent of like grandma, like like as if we pulled grandma out of the 70s and put her into the 80s, right? Like, um, she
One of those
has
neckerchief things going on.
not close. She has red glasses hanging around her neck by a beaded chain. Her gray hair is done up in curlers. And she has one really large one out front. It's relatively late-ish, like we're getting on the late side. Um, And the rest is covered up by a green and white polka dot scarf that's holding her curlers and style in place. And she says, "Welcome, welcome, welcome to our home. Uh, are you guys needing a place to stay?" An awful lot of you.
Yeah,
Oh,
it would be really, really nice if we could possibly get a room here. It's really cold and rainy out.
Separate rooms. I don't think any of us are
Oh,
together.
yeah, sorry.
Okay, none of you. And she's like, yeah, she walks behind a desk and like pulls out a pen and starts writing stuff, and nothing here is futuristic in any way. Everything is a handwritten ledger. It is sign in. This is how we do it. And she's
credit
like,
card
yeah,
machine slides across a piece of paper.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Oh, knuckle buster.
It was. It's so true. And she kind of looks at you guys. She goes, "Oh, well, you guys just some. You could just sign this here, and we'll work out the charge in here in a second. Um, but I am Mildred Castevet, but everybody calls me Minnie. You guys are in luck tonight. We have what seems," and she's like counting you guys, and she's the right amount of rooms left for each of you. As previously said, none of you are together. And she's like, "My husband, Roman, should be in here shortly." Um, she starts like writing everything down, and she's like, "You guys just have a seat in here," and it is way bigger than it should be. It is what would be considered the lobby. There's a there's a large piano in there, and there's plenty of places to sit, whether it's a chair, recliner, couches, whatever, right? Um, and as you see, back behind her is actually a beautiful parlor that it has a very small bar, um, but one that could service a house full of guests. And and she's starting to write things, and actually joining from the parlor, her husband, Roman Castevet. He's an older gentleman. He also is gray haired. He has some wrinkles across his face. He's in a white long sleeve button up shirt with a golden bow tie, and he has some green suspenders, and his khakis are belted, and he's wearing loafers. And he's well, good thing you guys made it in. This is gonna that rain's really coming down. We'll be with you guys in just a moment. And they go back to doing their business. She kind of looks up, and you guys are not saying anything. And she's like, "Well, um, have any of you ever stayed at a bed and breakfast before?"
No.
No, I've just seen it on old TV shows.
Love.
Never
Yeah.
even heard of them, honestly.
Oh, well, so this is different than your regular hotel experience. We are more like family here. Um, we all get to know each other fairly well. I don't know how long you're staying, or if you're going to even be here tomorrow, but typically, and today you guys recognize is a Friday, and at least that's what the calendar says, right? Like the calendar's like Friday the 27th, and you're like, okay, cool, so it's a Friday. And do you remember, you're like, all right, so usually on Saturday evenings we have a we do provide breakfast every morning, but Saturday evenings we also do a big dinner. We usually provide all three meals if possible. Definitely a lighter lunch, but dinner will be made every night. But Saturdays is our big evening, and we will have a very, very large dinner. And we usually have like a friend or two come join us if we're relatively empty. So was hoping that you guys would at least attend that. And it this is coming across as almost like desperation. This is the first time she has had this many people in here in ages. And so she's like, so I hope to see you guys then there. And she goes and puts her glasses, and she's like, but feel free to get to know one another. And she brings her glasses down, and her and Millie and Roman are chatting amongst themselves, and they're trying to get things ready for y'all.
Thanks, Millie. So anyway, I'm Jonesy. It's going to sound like a weird question, but does anyone know where we are?
No idea. I'm Zoe. It's nice to meet you guys.
Hi, I'm Jill Hale. I also have no idea where we're at.
Oh, you can go ahead, Joanne. I was
gonna
going
say-
to give you an opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah, eventually, from a portion of the parlor with a Shirley Temple, you hear a voice go, "Y'all are in Camarillo."
What state is that in?
Camarillo.
I remember being in New York. I don't remember Camarillo, New York. And Jonesy's got like a
throats kind of blend in together after a while.
Yeah. Jonesy's got a T-shirt with the name of a summer camp on, and it's got a big thing that says staff on the back.
I thought you were gonna say there's like a giant knife in it, like. Hey!
Yeah, no. How long has Duke
has been trying very, very hard not to stare at Zoe. He's not being judgmental. He's just never seen hair that color before in his life. And trying to avert his eyes, he finds himself kind of staring at that camp staff T-shirt. He's not sure why.
I was homeschooled. I never really left the state. From a smaller area, but Camarillo is like one of the biggest towns near where I was from.
So does that mean we're by where you're from then?
Ish. Generally.
God, those must have been some weird breadsticks. Okay. Different time too. This is messed up.
Someone say breadsticks. I'm starving.
Dinner should be around in a little bit. After they get y'all settled. Minnie, you want me to reach over the bar and get them something to drink?
No, not yet, dear. Nah, it'll be fine. It'll be just fine. Roman will be back in just a moment. And she's like, okay, you, and she points at, because she doesn't know everybody's names either, but she's like, you with the pink. She's like, can you just like sign here? She's like, and we're gonna saddle up prices for everybody when you check out. That's when you pay.
Zoe will walk up to the pad and just like look at the pen and
to use it.
Yeah.
Jill, what about these?
Jill is intently watching how she's doing this because she's like, what are those?
I thought you had to dip them in something though.
Not that old.
No, it's a different kind.
Click the button on the back.
Jones is used to selling weeds in new wave clubs, so like he's not put off by the hair. So
she'll sign her name.
Okay. Or something that looks like it. Perfect. Now, like,
Yeah, it probably doesn't look like normal. Like, I guess it's probably a different type. I don't know how language has changed in that amount of time, but it's probably like way shorter than you normally would sign everything. It's probably like 4 characters and that's it.
name to Millie. She's like, okay, thank you. And
you actually
she,
sign your name in a barcode.
Yeah,
right.
it's all zeros and ones.
And her, and she points over at Duke, and she's like, "You're next." And she like slides that to you, and
And he kind of stares at the pen for a second and newfangled and fills in his name. He's seen these before, but they're new.
I love it. Okay. Thank you. And yeah, you guys just go have a seat. There is some snacks available in there. And then she like grabs and pulls that one and sets it down and like puts it in a manila like folder envelope. I mean, this is like she has like a giant like filing cabinets where it's like hanging files. And she grabs the next one and she slides it over to Jill, and she's like right here, and she's like hands you the pen, and
she'll like try to like mimic what everyone else was doing.
right.
So it's like looks like a I mean, she tries to do it the way like she holds her finger kind of on it because she's so used to writing everything on tablets and stuff with your finger, and so it looks like, you know, toddler drew it. But she manages to write her name. And do you need my do you need my my position as well, or just the name?
That's the name. She like picks it up and she like looks at it and she's like, "This will do." And like she's like, she then passes the last one to Jonesy and is like, could you just sign right here?" Or yes. And
Oh yeah, he just writes a D, a J, and it's almost just a straight line after the J.
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 She's like, "Oh, very nice." And like, yeah, will you please just give us like an hour a heads up before you leave. We like to give a gift to the people that come and stay here. Just like a thank you, you know? And she's like, and you at this time have seen Roman leave. He's gone into the parlor, and she's like, Roman is in there. We're ready to entertain as needed. And she leaves and goes into a room out of sight. And she's like, and I'm going to assume all of you shuffle in. I know that Vivian is already in there.
Marie is in there.
Oh, I mean, Marie.
Marie.
But you guys all shuffle in there, and you are greeted with a very warm smile from Roman, and he is just like, what kind of drinks would you like? Non-alcoholic or alcoholic? We have a decent variety, and there are some snacks over there, and you kind of look over, and it is a smaller table. Like a small, what I would consider a smaller buffet table. And it is, there are what, for lack of better terms, very nicely well done charcuterie boards. Like, there's meats and cheeses and crackers, and there's like some rolls with butter. I mean, it's just like something like a little snacky snack. Like you were like chilling. I'm sure Jonesy is real hungry at this point.
Fucking sold.
So, right?
He passes on a drink though and pulls a joint out from behind his ear.
Oh, not a problem here. Just you have to be outside. And
Oh, yeah. Okay.
you don't have to go out the front. You can just go out the back. There's a back door into our garden. And are you going to go out to the garden, or are you going to wait?
I'm gonna eat food first.
Smart. And he's gonna look over at Duke, and he is going to say, "You all right, friend?"
Yeah, it's been a long trip. Take a beer, whatever you got. Schlitz, Rheingold. I don't know.
Okay. And
He's rattling off brands that are no longer around.
And that's okay, because when you do this, he actually pulls out a Schlitz, no problem. Like, sets it out on there and hands it to you, and he's like, "We keep tally, and again, you just pay at the end. Everything's fine." And
Duke walks away thinking maybe these people aren't such squares after all.
And he's like, "But tips are always appreciated," and he kind of laughs, and the tip jar is empty because there's only 2 people here currently that are staying.
There can at least be $1 in there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Put $1 in when she got her Shirley Temple.
Okay.
It's like a week's wages in 1980.
Gave her an extra cherry because she put $1 in.
I love it. All right. And you, Miss, are you okay? And he is looking at Jill, and he's like, "Are you looking lost? Is the word?"
No, I'm fine. Yeah, I drink.
Are you traveling?
You could say that, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, what would you like to drink, if anything at all?
I will water. Do y'all have water?
Yes, we have that. And he kind of smiles and chuckles at you, and he's like, "Would you like a lemon, no lemon, a lime?"
Yes.
There were 3 options, dear.
Oh, sorry. I'll take a lime. That's
that.
the yellow. And she's gonna watch as he's going to go for to see which color.
He pulls out a lime and goes to cut it, and is like, does it, and ice, water, and he's like, sends you, like, gives you the water. Would you like a straw? No straw? This is important stuff, I assure you.
Yeah, I'll take a straw.
Perfect. Okay. And so then he sends a little dish with like 2-3 limes in it, knowing he'll probably get more water, and he looks over at at Marie and is like, you good, friend?"
Excellent, Roman. Thank you.
"Of course, my pleasure. And you, how do you say your name?" And he's looking at Zoe.
Zoe. I'm Zoe.
Oh, it's very unique. I've never seen that before. Just everything about you is unique. I love it.
Thanks.
It takes all kinds of kinds in this world.
Yeah. Oh, I have a question.
Oh, sure.
I watched a show, and they had this, it was like a green soda. I think they called it Mountain Dew.
Oh.
You guys have that? I've always wanted to try it.
That's a great question.
Let's ask the internet when.
Yep.
I believe Mountain Dew is current with the 80s.
I think so. I'm just double checking. Yes, it's been invented in the 40s. Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
it was the 40s?
Yeah. Okay. And he just smiles and he's like, "Of course. Do you want a cup or would you like it in the can?"
Oh, the can. I want it in the can.
And no problem. Pulls one out, pops it, sits it down in front of you, and he's as you guys are sitting there, you hear the piano start to play, and it's just it's just very calming, relatively chill, like piano, generic music. It's like way better than walking through Nordstrom's. Like it is like it's actual like talent. There's somebody whoever is playing it, and you guys are free to do what you would like.
What brings y'all out here in the awful weather?
It's gonna sound strange, but I have no idea. What brings you guys? Where are you from? Joe, you got to be from one of the bigger cities, right? They don't really have good clubs out here in the sticks.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I real big, like massive city.
Real big. Okay.
Dude, that bike, man, it's in mint condition. How long you been restoring it?
Well, I take good care of it. But practically brand new.
Uh, um,
Dad always had motorcycles like that. He's gonna fix them up, but it just ended up being a bunch of spare parts in the yard.
nothing wrong with
Respect
that
that.
project. Marie is 25, strawberry blonde, curly hair, uh, green eyes that I think Duke would probably be the only one that would find possibly familiar, as well as a gold chain necklace with a blue stone in it, also familiar, and two gold bracelets, one on either wrist, same blue stone. She's wearing like a powder blue um she's wearing like a powder blue sweatsuit and hold on a second. I'm gonna bump my okay. Sorry.
You're good.
She's wearing a powder blue sweatsuit, off one shoulder, darker blue tank top, so it's not a full cold shoulder situation. It's just tilted, and shoes the same color. It looks almost like a uniform of some sort, but there's no branding on it in any way, shape, or form. Ain't nothing wrong. Traveling around.
Mhm.
Things happen. I mean, one of my grandpappy's friends got left by the side of the road a few towns over, started a diner. I think Miss Minnie's apple pie is the only apple pie that could beat his.
And as you finish saying that, the music is stopping, and you hear in the other room. You hear a lot of things in this place. It's not that it's. I mean, it's not. It's a house. It's not soundproof. Um, and you hear Minnie, and she's going, "Yes, very well done. Thank you so much, Mr. DeVille. It's been lovely to hear you play this week." And as you hear a lower voice male say, "Well, Miss Minnie, it's been my pleasure." And he makes his way into the parlor, and he sees a lot of you, and he's taken aback. The only face he recognizes is Marie, and obviously Roman and Minnie. And they they and, and Roman is, making a drink, and he has it ready actually as Mr. DeVille walks up to the bar, and it's just a glass of red wine, but it's out of a bottle that not anyone really recognizes, and it looks like it's pretty dusty. Like most everything in this house looks immaculate, and I mean very, very clean for being a very large house. For being an older woman and an older man running it, it looks very well done. Um, and he says, thank you, Roman. Um, you are a lucky man. Your wife is a gem." And he looks over at all of you, and he kind of nods his head to Marie and is like, "Marie."
Hi, Mr. DeVille. We got some unexpected travelers coming through. If I was dropping eaves a little bit when they were checking in, I think that young man over there is Jonesy.
Yep.
The young woman with the fantastic colored coif is Zoe. Um, the woman who looks a little confused and scared is Jill. And
Bless Jill.
the man who sounded like he was riding a T-Rex when he came in is Duke.
Oh, so that's your bike. Very nice, Mr. Duke.
Apparently, mint condition kept it all his life.
Oh,
Just Duke. No need for Mister.
oh,
You're pretty good at that. He kind of gestures toward the piano.
oh. Thank you. Learned over the years. Just kind of fiddled around as a kid and really thought I'd take it up in my younger years, and I did. And yeah, my mother actually is the one who taught me. Thank you. Uh, so what brings y'all into town?
I don't know.
I
To
love
be
it.
quite honest with you.
Met with absolute silence. Everyone is like, I'm not sure.
Traveling through, I think.
I got lost somehow. So,
Well, you are in good hands here. And with your permission, obviously, grabs your hand and pats it. Like he's walked over to where you are sitting and is you're in good hands here. Roman and Minnie, they're one of a kind. And
you're really nice so far.
and that doesn't change.
Okay.
Why would it change?
Oh, I was just simply stating that it doesn't change. They're always sweet and they're always kind. They have been. I've been staying here now, going on a month.
Why did you stay here so long?
And you asked that question, and as soon as you finish that sentence, there's a crack of thunder. That kind of, it's the kind that vibrates the house, like the kind that wakes you up out of a dead sleep.
Where he goes, heavens to Betsy.
And you ask Mr. DeVille this question, and he does not break eye contact with you, even during that loud crack of thunder. And he said, not that they wouldn't, that they won't. And he kind of laughs at you, and he's like, Oh, wait. What did you say?
I was asking why you were here for so long. Why you were staying here for so long.
Oh, great question. So I am in town on business. I travel a lot, and I have found myself here. It seems to be the closest for commute. So, you know,
It's also way nicer than staying at one of the bigger hotels.
indeed. And he smiles and nods at
I'd rather
Marie.
give my money to a smaller business than one of the larger corporations coming in.
A little bit.
Yeah. You guys should really support small businesses now. Also, Apple, really cool. You should support that too.
Oh yeah, I love Apple.
Just
Is
heads
that
up.
that Macintosh brand?
Yeah,
That Macintosh. Yes.
Oh yeah, I have one of their phones.
Wait, what?
And he looks confused as to why he said that. I don't know.
I didn't know they made landlines.
Duke kind of shrugs and checks the snack area to see if there are apples, because obviously that's what we're talking about.
And
Right.
there are apples there, and you're like, yeah, that's obviously what we're talking about.
Obviously.
And you're like, and Duke checks out the apples, and he's like, well, he kind of looks at all of you guys, figuring that you are all looking at him at this point. New traveler, new people. Him and Marie have rapport already, and so, Marie, he looks at you and he's like, well, it's a nightcap. He's like, I think tonight I'll have to. It's been one of those days, and he's like,
Ah.
I'm looking forward to Saturday. How about you?
I am so excited. I've heard such great things about the spread Ms. Minnie puts out that I'm really glad that I get to be here for that. I haven't been here before for it.
It's my favorite. It has been the one thing that I have looked towards consistently, since staying here. And he kind of looks at all of you guys, and he's like, obviously you're going to join us tomorrow, yes?
Oh, I hope so.
Sure.
Minnie's had her heart set on this all week.
And she's excited, I'm sure, to provide for such a large group. I haven't seen this many people here the entire time I've been here. So usually ends up being me and Roman, Minnie having dinner together every night.
I think I could be here tomorrow night. I don't.
You think. I love it.
I don't know what my plans are.
Right?
you
I gotta
know.
check my calendar.
I have
Hold on, I was just.
I have a portal coming at 2:00 tomorrow afternoon. So, like,
Jonesy pats himself down, finds his credit card, and doesn't even think that it's incongruous that it doesn't expire until 2023. Hopefully their paper thing doesn't pick that up.
Right?
He's like, I don't have any cash. Good.
I love it. And he says, he just sits down and spends pretty much the evening. He is sitting at the bar, not at the table any longer. And he spends the evening kind of talking back and forth between Roman. And it's very well, I wouldn't say hushed conversation, but it's not audible enough. You just know that they're talking.
Mhm.
And you guys spend the evening getting to know one another a little bit better in the best way that you can remember. And
Jonesy's gonna pull his joint out again and start walking to the thing and look at Joe. You want to join? You look like you could take the edge off.
Jill, like,
I mean, I'll come out with you, but I don't smoke things, so.
Oh, okay, more for me then. Anyone else want to join in?
Sure. I've heard of this.
I've heard of this. I love it. Heard of it.
Watched a whole documentary about it.
Right. It's a ritual that you do with friends.
It's the marijuana.
Yes.
Dad called it the devil's lettuce, but he's an alcoholic, so what does he know?
Hey.
I'm just waiting for Zoe to be like, "Do you have one of those Bing Bong thingies?"
So, all right.
Not on me.
So Marie has her room. Jill and Zoe are going. Duke, are you going to chat or are you going to your room? No wrong answer.
Yeah, I suppose I haven't had a lot of stimulating conversation for a while, and I've been here for a few hours now, so my ears have stopped ringing from the bike.
Good.
I got myself another Schlitz, another apple, and
Perfect. Okay. As you guys go to stand up, Mr. DeVille, which, by the way, he has now introduced his first name. Excuse me. And his first name is Elijah. But he's like, I'm Elijah. My friends call me Eli. Eli DeVille. And he says, I do believe it's time for me to head to bed. It was nice meeting all of you. I look forward to seeing more of you tomorrow. Since it is a Saturday and it's the weekend and I'm off. So he's like, smiles and he's like, Marie, and, does a little, and is.
Night, Mr. D.
Okay. Marie,
Mhm.
what are you going to do here?
I'm gonna take a minute while everybody is standing up to go different ways, and just kind of gently bust the tables and put like the little plates in order on the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Slide another $1 into the tip jar. Take a can of soda, and I am gonna say, I'll be up to bed in just a minute. I'm gonna spend some more time just kind of talking.
Okay.
You have a nice night, Roman. Tell Ms. Minnie I said good night.
And he smiles and he takes the plates off of the bar. And it's a cart with wheels, they're older. There's a lot of people, they need to be able to go quickly. And he sets it down and he is wheeling back. And you hear, he gets all the way to the back and he's, he shows you guys the way to the back door. And, he's like, so our garden is out here. And he tells you as he's pushing this cart, he's like, our garden's out back. And Miss Minnie and I did that ourselves when we were much younger. And he kind of like smiles as he says it. And he's like, but so please enjoy it. It would bring us so much joy. And as he does that, he goes on his way. And you hear from in the kitchen, good night. Like, and it's like, she's like, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Breakfast is at 8 to
Good night,
10.
Miss Minnie.
And she's
Oh,
like,
thank God, I'm not making 8 o'clock. I'm too into that.
and
Jonesy
and
wakes up at the crack of noon every day.
Right.
That's right. First thing he has is a breakfast roll.
Love. Okay. You guys make it outside, and it is actually a very beautiful, like what I would consider it is a solid concrete porch, and these steps are very well done. They're very level. It feels very easy to walk down. And sorry. Great. I'm sorry, friend. That was
No,
awesome.
it's fine. She just came in and said, "Go get your wife." I'm like, I don't have a wife.
You gotta find a wife and then get her.
I have to find
Apparently.
one. All right. But you guys see these the stairs themselves they start out narrow and they do the wide with the outturn, and it feels very Victorian. It feels very French. Like it's like what you would see or imagine in history books, right? And this house is, again, I cannot stress enough, it is perfect condition. It is just, and it's gorgeous. It's green and black, which is very unusual for a color of a Victorian house at this time. Like it's very unique. And as you make your way down these steps, you guys see in the center, essentially, is what is a stoned path, but the path itself is circular. So there's one circle in the center and two, a path that goes off here and another circle and a path that's over here. And that actually goes all the way around. And there are about 6 circles around this large circle. And these are really well done. It's very ornate. I don't want to say it's glass, but you know how there are like the rocks that they put in the ground that are colorful to do like really cool like landscaping looks. That this is what that looks like. And in the center is a golden yellow circle, and it is like it does like the ombre, right? So in the center it's like this like darker gold, and as it gets out it's this bright beautiful yellow, and all of the ones around the outside are different shades of green, and it is gorgeous. um it's beautiful. Like you cannot stop staring at it even though you're out there to talk to one another and have a good time. You are almost what I would consider enthralled by this. um but with that said, you guys make your way in, and as you go outside, you actually notice that there is electricity inside the house. But out here, everything is lit by candle. So, um, there's lanterns like hanging on hooks, and it's just really well done. Like it feels like you have been, transported to a very different time.
Is
But
it still raining out there?
It has not stopped raining. It is, but it's not pouring. And it's the type of rain that you don't mind to walk in, like it's like the nice kind. Like it's soft, it's not hard drops, they're not big drops. It's just like you can tell it's almost done. But you hear the roll, like the low rumbling of thunder, and you still see flashes of lightning going, here and there, but nothing unusual.
Man, this is like they really run this place with just 2 people.
I have no idea. I think she's just like perplexed by the rain and actually like being out in the rain of like this natural occurrence. And is just like looking at like the different garden things and like poking them to see if they're actually real. Like she's just like exploring this area.
Jill is pretty much doing the same thing. She just seems so like, oh, I've not seen a place like this.
Jonesy's just appraising it. It's like figuring out mentally how many plants he could fit in here and what kind of yield that would get him at the end of his season. It's like 15, 20 pounds easy.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I want y'all to do this. Do any of you want to? I know Zoe and Jill are looking. Are you guys trying to like study something, or are you guys trying to like just take it all in, touching things, trying to see if everything is real, which you will find everything here is very real.
Yeah, Jonesy kind of takes a stroll around the various paths,
Okay.
just almost how you go to a place and they'll have those little mazes. They're not really mazes, but they're like a circular path, and you walk the path, and it's supposed to help you relax and stuff. He's kind of doing that. He hasn't been sleeping well lately.
Yeah, you do that, and you actually find that that's exactly what this is. It's made to do just that. And you can see as you're walking, like you found one and you're going around and around, and you have found this one in particular is a bit off of like, instead of the big center with the beautiful golden and green, this one is a bit off of the way, just a tiny, tiny bit. And as you get through it and you come to the center, it's this one is the type where the bush hedges, like they start out low, so you see a lot of it, but as you go it gets taller, they get taller, the bushes themselves get taller, and you do this with no problem at all. And you come back and you guys and
I smell noticeably skunkier when I come back out of the hedges.
and
Anybody want some?
No, I'm good.
I maybe in a minute. I am just I think that Zoe's trying to find anything odd here. Like, she's still unsettled of how she got here in the first place. I mean, she's gonna live it up while she's here, but something feels off, especially like the piano was playing himself. And then someone was playing the piano, and like these weird little like changes I think are sticking out in Zoe's mind. And so I think she's just, even if she's not doing it on purpose, she's like looking through the flowers or this area to see if there's anything that seems different.
Sure. Well, if you would like, then you make a check. Let me pull it up. Oh my god, this is so hard. You can go ahead and make. See, I can't decide which one I want to do. Okay. I'm gonna have you make a spot hidden check.
Just regular?
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Okay.
Nope. Pretty flowers.
Great. It's great. It's great. Good. Yeah, you see, this appears to you as normal flowers. There is nothing unusual that you're finding. I would like.
Just like.
Oh, go on.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was gonna say, go ahead.
I would actually like for everyone who's just hanging out outside to oh man, how do I want to do this? Okay. I'd like everyone to go ahead and make a sanity check. Everyone. And it's just a regular little sanity check.
Oh no, Jonesy.
I failed that thing hard.
Bad. Real bad.
You remember those sleepless nights? I've been having dreams. I've been eating no
I mean, I'm right up there with you. 92.
Okay. I know. All right. So, well, all right. Man, Duke, you're killing it.
Well, I've seen a lot of much weirder stuff than
right.
Just
it's a garden.
hospitable people.
You're right.
This is a Tuesday in Duketown.
I like the idea. I like the idea that the little eldritch being in the Duke suit is like, in the back of his head, he's like, it's fine.
I work with this guy. We're cool.
Right. Okay.
Eli, we go way back.
Right.
Don't play poker with him.
Yes. For those of you who failed, yeah, sorry, you're going to lose 3 sanity. And you, even though you didn't smoke anything at all, Jill, you are feeling a little bit of a haze.
Feeling a little woozy, man.
And Jonesy, despite your tenured abilities, you are feeling exceptionally high, like higher than usual. This isn't functioning level. This is like, oh, I probably should
Nice.
get home and sit down. like this is.
I gotta get back though. I gotta eat those crackers and cheese, man. I gotta settle this shit.
Yes, and for everyone who succeeded, you still lose 1 sanity. However, those who succeeded, you feel not yourself. Feeling apprehensive just being in this space now. Whereas like before it was fine. But you're feeling apprehensive now.
Marie's gonna take a moment, kind of clock that like she's already a little off kilter because of a variety of things, and she's going to go. It was lovely meeting y'all, but I do believe it is time for me to head to bed. And like turn
Yeah, I
to
think
go
I'm gonna go
back
inside
in.
too.
Anyone else feel really weird?
Yeah, this shit kicked like a mule. Not gonna lie.
I didn't take anything though.
Oh,
Remember you said, and I said no.
yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
Duke, what are you doing?
Oh no, let's get inside. Jonesy goes back inside.
So 2 things. One, when he takes that sanity point, he gets a very brief flash of memory of being in a room with very, very fancy people, possibly an auction. It's completely out of context, means nothing to him, but he has, however, in recent years, been reading some very strange books, trying to figure out what happened to a friend of his. And I'm wondering whether there is any chance anything might click for him with the pattern of these circles and rings and.
Sure. Okay. So then we will have you. I'm gonna have it because recall is a thing in this. Yes, recall. Do you? Okay.
There's a history.
Recall might be history. It could also be occult.
Occult. Okay. I'll let you choose whichever one you would want. Go ahead and roll that.
Okay, so my history is better, but I think occult makes more sense because he has memory stuff going on.
Oh, nice.
So it's a 16 out of 30 regular success. Unless it really matters, in which case I can spend a point of luck. And
this does not. This is just to try to recall something that you already know. So, you yes, in your time reading those books, you do remember seeing something very similar. And with that, you also recall that this was used. Like the thing you remember is that it was like it's like a summoning circle. Like it is it's something that you recall reading about Bolt's behavior, and only thing that you cannot recall are why those colors, because you do not pull out any color. You just remember seeing the symbol almost identical as is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be thinking about that for a while.
Good. And the rest of you, I assume, will shuffle your way in as well. Yes.
Very shuffly, yeah. Like holding on to like stuff, but like
Yeah.
feeling
Marie will
unsteady.
kind of guide.
Battle
her
buddy you're in. Yeah. All right. And when you guys come inside, as you come, all the rooms are upstairs. And with that happening, you guys see out on top of the piano are actual keys, like with each have like a name on them with your room numbers. And you grab your keys, you make your way upstairs. Do any of you say anything to one another as you go into your rooms, or do you just grab your keys and go?
I feel Jill, already being hazy, does not understand what this thing is. Like, it looks like the shape that on the icon, lock and unlock. I get that.
Right.
So it's like she
Wow.
goes up and like,
I'll help you get into your room, darling.
it's not like she's trying to swipe it in front of the door.
No. So what you do is, I know these are slightly older. These are like skeleton keys, right? Or are they like actual newer keys?
They are going to be regular keys, right? So just like a key to a door, like if you were locking a house, that is each room has a specific key. And you
Okay.
would have noticed, anybody who, when y'all came in, you would have noticed there was like a wall down below that had like multiple keys of each room, just because things happen. Like, and but yes, everybody has their own room key, and there's only one. But yes,
Each room has its own bathroom in it, or is this like an older
correct.
bed and
No,
breakfast?
each room has. It is very small now, but yes, each room has their own bathroom.
So
and-
she'll get Marie. Marie'll get Jill into her room. Show her how the key works.
Yeah,
Show her how the lock works on the inside while the door is open, so she can see.
you do this.
Well, you show her that, but she's already flopped onto the bed. Like, I'm just gonna. The world is spinning, and I'm just going to sit, lay.
Okay, I appreciate the world is spinning, darling, but you should. It's probably fine. And I put the key on the bedside table. If this is a deadbolt, she can't lock it behind her, so she's just gonna close it.
Zoe is watching the exchange to learn how to do it.
I'll go
I'm
over
in
to
the same
Zoe.
exact boat.
I'll show Zoe as well.
Um,
No, this isn't one of those fancy hotels with the card readers. You need to use the key and put it in the lock. Turn it. And then once
You'll hear a click.
Okay.
And turn it, you get inside. This is how you lock it.
Oh, it's like I get it now. Okay. Okay. Oh, so then when I practice, I know how these things work. Okay, this was like a hobby I had of recreating some stuff. So I will just
I've known plenty of locksmiths in my day. If you need me, I'm down that way.
Yes, and actually, Marie, your room is 104.
Thank you. Do I overlook the garden at all?
I would say yours is towards the back of the house. And yes, there are windows. This house has plenty of them. And yes, you can oversee it. But it's not an entire full view. I would say it's like those partially occluded views. We all know what those are. There's
Yep.
like a yeah, like so sorry, I was just still laughing at the exchange of Jill trying to get into her room. Jill, your room is 101. And then I'm going to put Zoe next to her in room 102. And
You
as
said
you
Marie was in 104. Is that right?
yes, and then Duke, we're gonna put you in 103.
Okay.
Jonesy, you are 105.
All right.
And you recognize at 106 that Eli is in that room. And then
Right next to me, huh?
then there was and then there was a another room, but it's the master bedroom. This is where Millie and Roman sleep. They stay here as well. And I'm gonna need, as everyone makes their way into their rooms, I need everyone who everyone who accepted a drink, which, as I recall, was all of you.
No, Jonesy didn't.
Jonesy
Jonesy
didn't.
just smoked
Yes, yes.
weed. Weed
Okay.
saves my life.
Did it!
For now.
It destroyed my sanity, but it saved my life.
Okay. You all who accepted a drink, you get settled in, and you are laying down for the night. I know Jill's not. She's feeling a little woozy. She wasn't feeling super great. But you fall asleep relatively easy.
Before we fall asleep, so when Duke gets in his room, he tries laying down on the bed. This is not going to work. He is not used to the soft, cushy B&B kind of experience. So when he falls asleep, he is more comfortably curled up on the floor. And I think he's set out a couple of what's coming to mind are like crystals or something. They wouldn't be crystals, but something that he has heard is supposed to protect you.
Like a talisman of something.
Yeah.
That okay.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
I'm just going to smudge
that.
this house with weed. That's my plan.
You better not. It's against the rules. Okay. You who all took a drink, you fall asleep on the floor in your, I mean, in the bathtub. Some of us may be like, I gotta stay here. It's where I feel safe. That's okay.
I will say, Jonesy would sleep in a bed, but he wouldn't sleep long because, he would have nightmares about.
Well, lucky for you, this doesn't apply to you. The rest of you, however, you fall asleep relatively quickly. Like, probably faster than you should have, considering none of you know why you are here. None of you really know how you got here. And that this all kind of feels like a fairy tale. Sweet people, lovely house. And you guys start to dream. Those who took a drink. And your dreams are not vaguely familiar. They are familiar. This is something that you are very, very well very acquainted with. You know, and the dreams that you're having, they feel real. Like this feels real. And with that, we're going to take a break. But yes, LC, I'm going to take a break whenever you can. But
Hey,
yes,
yo, OC.
I know, right? There is still plenty of time to donate. Everybody donate if you can. That would be great. But yes, when we get back, we will talk about. I probably should at her, huh? LC. But everybody donate. Can someone hashtag donate for me in there in chat?
I will.
Welcome back. Hey, when we left, our friends were going to sleep in this totally fine, not creepy B&B. And so with that, we're gonna do a dream sequence. This is how this is going to go. Yeah, I know, right? We are starting with Jill. And Jill, you, again, like I said, you fell asleep relatively quickly. You fell asleep totally fine. You were fine. But you keep having these flashes that come at you, almost like what I would consider like a movie sequence. And you are seeing yourself face on a ship. Uh, are murdering your crew, the crew in which you were part of. And you look down, hands are stained blood, and you look up and like looking in a mirror. Self, you think it's yourself. Um, describe to me how Jill gets off this spaceship.
She, with what the crew remained, they found their way to the escape pods, and there was multiple Jills at that point. Enough for, I think there was herself and then two others, and there was only 3 escape pods, so they decided to split the Jills evenly, hoping that one of the Jills was the right Jill, and whoever was stuck with the correct Jill wouldn't die. Well, sucks for them. I was the correct Jill by myself. And so they went off in the escape pods, and after a while, another ship floated by and pulled her escape pod aboard. But the captain mentioned that they had just pulled another escape pod with another Jill Hale on board.
Okay. And describe to me that feeling of betrayal.
Like when she was on board the second ship. I wouldn't describe it as betrayal. It was more fear, knowing that what happened to her ship was going to happen here again. That she went, from the pot into the fire, and she was begging the captain, begging whoever would listen to her, that she was the real Jill Hale. She was the real one, don't trust the other one. That's not her. And so she just was desperate for somebody to believe her, desperate for this to happen again.
And you are, screaming like, I'm the real one, and that feeling of, I would say probably close to despair, knowing the outcome of something before it happens is always rough. You wake up. But for now, we're going to go to Zoe. Zoe, you, this feels like today or tomorrow. You're not sure yet. You are getting, again, like a movie sequence, flashes of things, your mech suit, Icarus, and you remember you're remembering your friends, you think, your team, your but can you describe to me what is the last thing before getting here that she remembers? And by that I mean, what is the last bad thing that you remember?
The last bad thing I remember was the squad. All of us we had just killed a competing group for Magenta Red, a mercenary captain. And we were trying to escape through the vents. But we were able to get almost everybody out. They were able to stealth. There was no way we could track them. And I knew that the only way I could save anybody, someone was going to get left behind. Someone was going to get destroyed.
Who did?
I did. My mech got fully destroyed, and I was taken prisoner for a few days. For a day. It felt like more. But
and you get to that point of these scenes that are playing in your head, and just over and over the day you were captive, and that you did or did not endure. You are filled with a great loss. Like, you get to that, and you, in your dreams, succumb to that disparity. Wake up. Duke. Friend Duke.
Mhm.
I would like for you to describe the feeling that you got and what happened leading up to, as you said earlier, your considerable possible rampage on a city. the feelings that Duke was dealing with in that moment as he felt what I imagine his sanity slip away.
Yeah. In his head, it's flashes of images that don't necessarily make a lot of sense to him. But he sees himself in that fancy room surrounded by well dressed people. One of them looks familiar to him now, but that's not where his attention is. And he sees a mask inside a glass case. He sees people going berserk. These fancy people turning on each other. He sees himself smashing through the case, and telling his fist to smash the mask, and putting it on instead. And after that, it is a blur, like the highlight reel from bad 80s slasher flicks, until he has a flash of running through the woods by a lake, and young people, kids, and mustering whatever last shred of him was left to say no inside his head, and suddenly back on his motorcycle and somehow separated away from whatever that was, and then he was pulling up here.
Currently, in the state and the version that you are currently, Duke, before you fell asleep, did you feel like yourself?
Mostly. I think basically he's split into two entities. One of them is still visiting summer camps by crystal clear lakes, shall we say? And the other, separate person, not even like personality, separate life. Back to what he was doing, riding the roads. I think it wasn't neat and tidy, so some parts of him may not be there as they were before. So he doesn't quite feel like himself, but a heck of a lot more than he was for
Perfect.
a long time.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Thank you. You get to that camp, and you, in your mind's eye, say the word no, and you are, and you wake up. Marie, you've been here a minute.
Mm-hmm. Hot minute.
You have been having these dreams occasionally, not every night, but occasionally. And in your dream, you you yourself remember the auction.
Mm-hmm.
You remember everything. But this time in your dream, you are having your flashes, your movie scene, and it is not necessarily your life, not necessarily your memories. Even though you do completely remember this auction, can you please describe the terror Or the frenzy that you felt at the auction?
There was the well of anxiety because she wasn't in control. She wasn't fast enough to get to the case with the mask first, to try to put the cover back on, to try to claim the mask. She doesn't know entirely what she would have done. She wasn't good enough to realize that when she started reading from the scroll to slow things down a bit, that it would have frozen everything forever and she would have always there was no end to the scroll. And there's the terror of remembering when she was reading from the scroll and when she realized it's not ending. The spell is not coming to an end, and having to force her way out of it. And after the frenzy of the moment with people turning on one another, there was the fear of, can I get out of this with enough of my reputation intact that I can continue doing what I need to for my search of power? Because at the bottom of all of that fear, deep behind it, there's the I was right. There is proof of power. Before the auction, she had only had little tiny touches with it. And now it's, I was right. I know that there is power out there. And what the auction taught her more than anything else was not to attempt to control it and own it, but to give it the proper reverence and respect that it deserves. That, like, no, you can't try to put God in a bottle and then sell it. How dare we think we could have owned that type of power? Like, you can touch it, you can use it, you can deal with it, but that is so like, how dare we? Of course something horrible happened. We committed like one of the most ultimate infractions, like the height of rudeness, to even consider we controlled it.
And do you remember Duke?
I do. She would. He's not
Yes.
changed much.
Nope.
And he
has something
remembers
less on his face. That's about it.
he has something less on his face. He has the motorcycle hasn't changed. He arrived after her, and she remembers the clank of the chain as one of his weapons as he gave it over. And partially because of Duke, she does have strapped on the inside of her thigh, or lower, it's the calf at this point with the sweats that she's wearing because they're baggy enough. She has a knife strapped in there. And she also learned how to use a gun after that.
Were
Because
you surprised to see him?
only that he showed up and had no idea where he was.
Were you?
She has interacted with enough people adjacent to powers, and she has used some of them recently to get a facelift. So she had a moment of concern. Will he realize I'm me?
Perfect.
Like, does he know me? And then when he wasn't like, it changed, nice necklace, or anything like that, she was like, oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Good.
So you weren't fearful of seeing him. given the circumstances in which everything went down?
She had left around the time, like, she knows he put the mask on because she was aiming for the mask. And he's not acting exactly the same way that he did when he left. However, since he's not on, when he left, there was less talking on his part and more murder spree, or
Okay.
possible.
More
And
murder.
it's not
Good.
like he kicked the doors in and broke Minnie's neck. He came in on a motorcycle and was like, I don't know why I'm here. And so she doesn't know if this is technically for him before the mask incident or after.
Gotcha.
And she doesn't know if what has happened is it has elongated his life and it's just like a dark passenger in the back of the head. Like if you say the right, if somebody sings Frere Jacques, if he comes out like Winter Soldier style.
Okay, great. Okay. You hear the hitting of the chains. You hear and that feeling that you took and learned from. You just keep feeling that over and over again right before you learn it, that and you wake up. Jonesy, you sleep.
Yes.
You don't sleep very long, like you said, but it's probably the best sleep you've had in a really long time.
It's the first time I haven't had bad dreams.
Right.
I
And
love this bed.
y'all wake up, all of you. Only it doesn't feel like it's daytime and it doesn't look like it's daytime, and y'all find a clock, however you find one in your room, and you realize it's like 3, 4 a.m., somewhere in between there. And do any of you do anything other than try to go back to sleep, or do any of you try to go out into the hallway? Do any of you?
Yeah, I think Zoe, like, there's no way she's going back to sleep after that. So she's probably going to try and explore a little.
Okay.
Yes.
Jill will definitely get up. Is she feeling like more steady on her feet at this point?
Yeah, you are.
She'll get up and make sure that her door can be opened, because when she first had woken up from her initial thing, she was locked inside of her little tech area, and she wants to make sure she does not get locked in an area again.
Here's your piece of paper.
Duke stops in front of the clock and looks at it and starts to sob and has no idea why, but somehow something deep in him is just so grateful that if it's 3 a.m, that means it's finally Saturday. As if it's been a Friday for a very, very, very long
Very,
time.
very long time. Okay.
If Jonesy hears other people stirring, he'll probably get up and wander downstairs too.
Assume you're going
'Cause
to get
he's-
downstairs. No, I'm kidding.
Because to Jonesy's best recollection, he's been wandering through the woods for what feels like weeks, and he just ends up at this B&B.
Got it.
So,
Okay. Um.
Marie will wait. She'll count the doors opening that she hears. So she'll hear Zoe
Yeah.
leave.
Mm-hmm.
Duke, you said you're leaving as well, right?
Yeah.
Jonesy? You're leaving?
Yeah, heading downstairs.
Jill, were you leaving as well?
She just opened her door, but when she sees everybody else leaving, she'll tentatively walk out and be like, "Hey, are we going somewhere?"
Yes. You do this, Marie. You count, and you're like, okay.
And I'm waiting to hear if Elijah opens his door.
Nothing. In fact, as you all go to open your doors, even though you know you opened it after Zoe, you know you waited. Marie, you know you counted.
I didn't open the door yet. Yeah.
You know that you counted. Everyone who's leaving, you enter into the corridor almost simultaneously, it seems. And here's some like milling about downstairs, you know. We'll say it's on the closer side of like 4 in the morning. You hear some milling about, just, it just sounds like like there's a washing machine running. Like you're hearing like the nighttime sounds of a house that's like doesn't really go to sleep. And you all step out into the hall except for Marie. At the same time, y'all kind of give each other a quick up and down.
You guys couldn't sleep either, huh?
I slept, I think. Or maybe I'm sleeping now.
Marie is like pressed against her door listening. And then when she hears footsteps, she's going to start going like, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi.
I'm going to need you to make a listening skill check.
Okay.
I said, I don't know about you guys, but I got a full 4 hours tonight. I feel pretty good.
Oh no. You can push it, or you can spend luck. I don't know how much you have. Or you can use a hero point.
I'm going to try to use a hero point. And do I just re-roll?
Yep. There you go. Ooh. Paid off. You press up against the door and you are hearing not indiscriminate mumbling, but you can tell exactly whose voice is which. You can tell who is talking to who. And honestly, you're not picking up anything concerning. And as everyone is, making their way to the staircase, you're able to count the steps as you go. Everyone else.
Question, if I could. Yeah. Is the clock in the room or out in the corridor?
So the one that you saw was in your room. There are plenty of clocks in this house, though. This house has no shortage.
Okay. Disturbing amount of clocks.
But I think that means that Duke is a few minutes after everybody else because he's sobbing, and with that hard success, I suspect you probably hear him sobbing in his room.
For sure. Do any of you do anything when you or do you just all kind of be like, hey, you can't sleep either? Yeah, me either. Or do you try to go immediately for the stairs?
I imagine we have that awkward we're all in the same space at the same time dance. Like, do I go? Do you go? Yeah. What's going on? I'll stop, like put myself up against the walls and ladies first.
Everyone who is in the hallway at this time, so that would be Zoe, Jill, and Jonesy. I need you all to make a see this where I'm like, you can do it, Holly. A sanity check, please, and it needs to be a hard success or better.
far? Because I've been so good at these
I
so
got
far.
a failure. Does that
You're doing
count?
Oh, Jesus.
Jonesy, you and I.
Lordy day. So, okay.
Hey, at least it
Jonesy,
wasn't 100 like last time.
True.
Jonesy, you and I will go insane together. It's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll just be smoking and rocking in the corner.
right. Okay. You guys who failed and Zoe, because you got just a regular success, you will only lose 1 point of sanity. However, the other two who failed will lose 3. And
Oops, sorry.
I know the two of you are not feeling well again, unfortunately. But this time it's less it's less like balance related. This is more of you know that feeling when you have a head cold and you get that
Mhm.
pressure and you take too much of that medicine and you're like, I don't feel right. That is how you're feeling currently. And and as far as Zoe goes, Zoe, um go ahead and make a listen check for me, please.
Absolutely.
All right, nice. Extreme success. Fantastic. Um, you hear clear as day, you hear someone crying in Duke's room. I mean, it is clear as day. Um, you also um look down the hall towards where Marie's room is, and actually the room just next to her. You hear a little bit of rustling. And it's not the kind of it sounds almost like not like furniture moving, but I would say more along the lines of like clothing being rustled a bit. You know how like when you're grabbing things very quickly and you're like throwing them or you're like moving closet stuff and you're like you hit the sliding of the hangers, that type of thing. Um you hear this, but you also see this light and it's dull, but you can see it. It's a yellow light emanating underneath the door, and it's coming out like very uh drawing a blank right now. It's fine. Like very poltergeisty vibes where it's like the light it's not bright, but it's unnatural. Like you're like that doesn't feel right. Um and you are feeling compelled by it. And by compelling I don't mean to go towards it, but you are interested in this. And it's not in a way that makes you feel uneasy. It's a way that you're like, I just want to learn about it. And you guys are all seen in the hallway, except for Marie and Duke.
Um, I'm gonna point out the glow first. Um, and then I'm gonna like gently knock on Duke's door and just say, um, hey, are you okay?
And it takes a minute, but he comes to the door, kind of, clearing his throat a little bit. Puts on a pair of sunglasses so you're not going to see, his eyes have been red from crying. And I'm fine. I'm fine. Just bad dreams.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of us had those. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what? Looks like everybody's up. What's going on?
There's like a weird glow going on next to Marie's room. I was actually just gonna go and try and get her now. it doesn't seem bad, but I don't know. I don't trust this place. But figured if most of us had all weird dreams, better to stick together as a group or something. So wanted to check on you.
I agree. Let's go check, make sure we're all okay.
Should we check on Piano Man too?
I don't trust Piano Man, honestly. We could, but
Wouldn't that be his room that the light is in? Also,
Yeah, it
did
doesn't
any
seem
of
fair
the
that
rest
his room
of
has a
you?
TV and ours don't.
Did any of you feel like you're in like floating in space? That's just me.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I have been since I got here. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude. That's why I know I'd always be a little bit of a
Like
gremlin.
usually this is more of a body high, but it's really up in here tonight. I don't understand
it. Like my head feels like a balloon.
it. Maybe Dad was right about this shit.
You finish saying that, and you hear the click of a door, and out walks Millie. She's in a house coat, and she's she's got little slippers on, but her hair is still up and this scarf, and she's like, "Oh, hey there. Didn't expect to see you guys up this early." Okay.
Yeah, couldn't sleep. Well, I did sleep, just not great.
Just some odd dreams. Is it normal for rooms to glow like that? And
And you point, and there's nothing there.
Oh. I don't like that.
Glowing rooms.
Never mind.
Okay. But does everybody want some coffee, tall glass of milk, water?
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'll take a coffee.
She's like, okay. She's like, I usually wait to put it on for another hour. She's like, I do, my stuff in the morning. And so, but she's like, I'll put it on now. And she's like, I'll let you guys know when it's ready. It'll be in the parlor. And she's like, you'll be able to smell it for sure. And she lets you like she just she's curious about, she's still in her house coat. Like she's like definitely used to doing this stuff like in her regular clothes, like not her regular clothes. Like this is something where she gets some time to herself usually in the morning, We all know what that's like. And and
where the cat's pestering her at the bathroom.
Right. And yeah, you hear her go downstairs, and you hear the click of radio. I assume you guys are stopping to get Marie or to check on her at the very least. Okay. But she goes downstairs, and you hear the click of her radio, and the sound that comes through is not like it's not music of this time. No, it's
Backstreet Boys.
right, like no, it's
Susie and the Banshees.
I love Susie. But no, you guys hear what would be like big band standards, and it's just like you just kind of hear her humming along, and it seems like she knows every single one that has come on. Like this one you hear, and she's just down there like humming away, and she's and then she is like, well, enough of she like turns it again, and this all happens over the next bit that you guys are those who are able to listen and stuff like that. You also hear her switching when she does switch it. This time it's like more along the lines of Spanish guitar, which is beautiful, and you just start to hear some pots and pans going around, just doing her thing. And who knocks on Marie's door? Don't all answer at once, guys.
I was going there next, so I'll
If
just.
if I hear, so I'm pressed against, they've all descended. I hear Duke crying. He's not gone downstairs yet, correct?
He
He
hasn't,
did.
but
Oh, well,
nobody's gone downstairs yet. I don't think. I think Duke actually and Zoe, correct me if I'm wrong, you two, were actually coming to get you because they were like, something's not right. Like,
if I hear their footsteps coming back up, because I've stayed there and I'm at like 12 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, I'm going to
Knock, knock, knock.
quietly, like, back up so they can't see my feet under the door
of course.
and be like, as I open the door.
Waking up.
Oh. Good morning. How are y'all doing?
Not great. Do you have weird dreams?
Well, I mean, depends on what you consider weird.
Like
Like,
impending doom or past doom?
no, mainly my dreams are me naked at the supermarket. Or I'm gonna get married, but it's like I'm under the veil and I can't see who my groom is. And then when I get down to the end of the aisle, it's a statue and there's no face, but it is wearing a tuxedo, which is real off-putting. And one time I dreamt that I was a bird, but not like a cool bird, like one of those not like a cool bird like a flamingo or a swan, but I was like a mallard and it was hunting season.
God.
That would fit under
Those-
impending doom.
Yeah.
Sounds like impending doom. But I will ask my question on supermarket later at a more appropriate time.
Does your
Oh.
head feel like a balloon too?
Not today. It feels like, well, darling, you stood awful close to Jonesy. Have you had some water?
Yes, I did earlier with the lime.
Okay. Well,
The
you know
green
what?
one.
We're gonna
The way you recalled
green lime. We're gonna go back downstairs. Come on with me, y'all. And she
You know,
just
I
kinda,
never
like,
drink tap water. You just can't trust it.
she kind of fixes her hair a little
What's it-
bit. Y'all must be from some. I thought I was from the sticks, but okay. So she'll like get you back downstairs. Goes to the parlor. She knows where Roman keeps the ice. Takes like a clean linen wrap napkin, wraps some ice in it, and comes over and puts it on Jill's forehead and gives her a little pat and makes her a cup of tea. And goes over to Zoe, gives her a little cup of tea, gives Miss Minnie a kiss while she's walking past everybody, just on the cheek while she's cooking.
Like, she's come and you guys all make your way. I assume Duke and Zoe are fine with that as well, making your way down. Okay. And she's assuming you two are the last ones to make your way downstairs. She's coming out with the serving tray, like pushing it on the cart, and is like, oh, good morning, and like she's just like wheels it in, and you get in, and it is every table is set. And the coffee cups that she sets down are not those, like Garfield coffee mugs that everybody, like at that time probably owned. Like they are these like nice, beautiful, like bone china. Like they are very, very, very ornate and delicate. Very, very delicate. And she's like, we grind the beans ourselves, like she's like trying to sell it to you, and like, she's like, so she's like, uh, and she's like, uh-huh. And she, is somebody prefer tea instead? Hot
Um,
water?
I think tea for Ms. Jill would probably be the best. She's feeling a little under the weather, a little foggy headed.
Mm.
We'll maybe have coffee just in case
And
for a little bit.
she's like, oh, you dear. She's like, that was probably, that storm last night. That front came in, and it's significantly chillier outside today. I'm sure that's contributing to your problems. And she's like, you see her just immediately pull out a tea and set it down and places the tea in, in the bag, like the bag into the hot water, and she, okay, and she's like, and then you see her put down the sugar, like half and half milk, whatever that you honey, whatever. And she's like, we she's like, you enjoy yourself. She's like, breakfast isn't for a while, but I'll be in the kitchen if you need me. And she's like, Roman will be up soon.
Yes, ma'am. If you need any help, you just give me a holler. I'm not the cook my mama was, but I can at least chop. Dice.
I can chop.
Chop.
And then so she goes on, scurries about, and you guys are left to talk. And something that you all probably in your days, I would say, or liken that to last night. You look, and along the wall in this parlor, not only is it beautiful, but it's there's several mirrors in the room, and along the back wall is just top to bottom is nothing but bookshelves, and they're filled to the brim. And the mirror, like the mirror that is next to here, like on the left side and on the right, are identical matches. They're very ornate. They are colors of green and gold. They look very expensive, which is probably rare to see something like this, even not only for those who have never seen anything like these, but those who are familiar with expensive, nice items, typical auction items. These are things that you see very often. And you just don't remember those being there last night. Now, the wall, sure, it was a wall to all of you last night. Like it's not that it wasn't a bookshelf or a bookcase. It was just a wall. You just don't remember recalling the details of it existing. And you are left to discuss. She's gone.
Jonesy's going to kind of peruse the bookshelf, just kind of reading some of the titles.
And Jill's going to go
but
with the books too.
Mainly he's doing it so he can bring up something that he feels a little self-conscious about making eye contact with people with. So it's sort of like a camouflage. I was going to say, I'm going to level with all of you guys. I have no idea where I am or how I got here.
Are these books? Like, I know.
Marie was going to start doing some like cult leader
juicy titles.
Cult leader bullshit where she was going to be like, You're where you need to what? It's just instant. Like, you are where you water
No.
books.
Yeah,
She doesn't
okay.
say it that way. She's just like,
child. No, because she's looking at him and like touching him. Like, I think she heard Jonesy, but she's like, I've never seen a book in person. Like, I've heard about them, but like,
Mhm.
how far out in the sticks are you guys from? Y'all go
Oh.
run in water?
So far.
so far.
So far.
And she's gonna like point at Zoe and be like, are you from space too?
Yep.
Like space, or you guys high? What are we talking about here?
No, like space. Like, the last thing I remember was I was a computer technician on a spaceship. I can't remember a lot because I woke up with amnesia, and I still have amnesia apparently.
What, like for SpaceX or on the ISS or something?
SpaceX didn't exist in the 80s. I will ask.
Yeah, but Jonesy's is from the 2000s.
Oh, fuck. Y'all Ruskies? Hold on.
Like, no, that
Joanne's gonna be quiet while she Googles a couple space things related to the 80s.
the
Talk
Challenger.
amongst yourselves.
But yeah, no, it was no. I don't know. I don't know what we were doing. I just know it was a pretty big ship, and there was an alien thing, parasite thing. I don't know what it was, but it killed the rest of the crew.
My crew crash landed on a dust planet because we fought over a Weezer USB.
Weezer, my
Oh,
dad used to listen to those guys.
I've heard about that in like one of the encyclopedia, like those old folk songs or something.
It was an ordeal. And then we made friends with a really tall mercenary lady. And now we're trying to go stop an evil scientist that's trying to talk to a god. So I'm not supposed to be here. I think I ate some really bad breadsticks at Garfield's, and now I'm here.
The last thing I remember is being saved on a different ship, but they had already saved one of my doubles, which is not me, which is actually the alien parasite thing. So I don't.
All right,
Where
this is
are
going to
we?
sound weird, but I think I remember dying. Like, I remember a sharp pain in my ankle. I
You say
remember
that?
a large man.
That's the first thing in the last 5 minutes that actually sounds familiar and sensible to Duke.
Sensible.
I
God bless Duke.
have a question. Could I make an occult roll or something to see if, not if it's true what they're saying, but if magic woo-woo bullshit could play a part in like all of them being here? And then I have a follow-up question after that.
Oh, okay.
But
so
that follow-up question is determined by my results if I can do the magic woo-woo bullshit roll.
okay. And so you're looking to remember if with your background that you know anything that would make this seem possible, correct?
Even if I didn't read it, if I have heard about it through my times, could or a library use roll, if it's like, is wonky time bullshit.
I'm happy to let you do a cult. That's not an issue there.
Okay. I would like to use a hero point.
Go for it. You sure you don't want to use your luck?
I would like to use all the hero points.
All of
Well,
them.
how many hero points do we have?
Enough, plenty, I assure
So
you.
many. So many.
Now,
Oh, so close.
what would get me to succeed that if I used luck to?
If you would have to take, you'd have to take 9 luck from your 30 that you have there.
Oh, well, easy peasy.
Yeah.
That's a better option than trying to.
Okay.
I don't know why it made me roll the luck, but
It's all right.
Yeah, you have to click on edit mode to
Yeah,
subtract
it's
it.
the worst.
Yeah.
But okay. You do recall. You recall not only with what you yourself have done,
because I have done magic woo-woo bullshit.
yes, by a skeleton keying yourself into a facelift, as you said. You do recall the idea and it having been written that interdimension time travel is possible. It takes something really, really, really strong for it to happen. It takes something that feels like it's what you witnessed at the auction. It takes something that big.
Okay. Follow-up question.
Mhm.
She is aware now. She has gotten. Uh-oh. Magic woo-woo bullshit has brought these people to this place. None of them with a memory.
Right.
The shit is going to hit the fan. I would like to roll because she has been in a place before where shit hit the fan and she didn't know enough to step to the side. And so I would like to see if there's a way where I can be like, you know what? I either need to make friends with the people who have been involved in this woo-woo bullshit so I can be a better cult leader, or I need to just go back up to my room and just be like, I'm
Close
asleep.
the door. Yeah.
Be like,
Everything is fine out there.
never mind. Like, I need to find a way as politely as possible.
You also have knowing what you know, you also have the option to leave.
I want to just say that for the Caravan of Cthulhu, I had the option to leave and I didn't, and my character
So
wished he died.
I would like to try to find a way. I need to find a couple of things. One, if I leave, would it irreparably damage any possible relationship with Minnie Roman and Mr. DeVille? For good or bad?
Not that you're aware of.
And is dinner part of the fucking?
I don't know.
Is there a role for a cult? Like, if I could be like, wait, it's that spell. No.
So as far as like knowing specifics, right? Like a spell, that's not something you would be familiar with. However, you would know that it exists, and you would have absolutely read notes on it. You would have read, these types of things. And have you are looking at the books, right? It was you and Joan.
I was looking from where I was seated, especially since Jill was
Mhm.
like, "These are books, right?" And I was like,
right. Yes. Okay. So Jill
Duke would like to go over and take a closer look at them if that.
there's plenty. It's a whole wall. I mean, everything looks really nice. It does. Everyone.
Is the Handbook of the Dead up there?
Necronomicon, no. So Karish is off camera very quickly, but everyone else who is taking the time to look at these books, I want everyone to roll a library use, please.
I'm gonna use a hero point.
He's not doing so well. Neither's.
No.
Success.
Gonna try a hero point.
Perfect.
I'll try one too.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, use them.
No.
Oh wow, you guys are doing real good.
Yeah.
Look, we
Jonesy
don't
can't
have
read when he's like
books in
this.
space. We have tablets that just
right.
okay.
Like,
What is the
look it up.
Dewey Decimal System? What is this shit?
I love it.
Yeah. We just download it right into our brains.
Um,
I just
I'm
need to
gonna- I'm
ask
gonna
Penny
spend-
what I want to know.
sorry, I'm going to spend 23 points of luck to make that hero point a success.
Okay,
Because
perfect.
Duke is all in on very particular weird books.
I figured. Jill, Karish, if you would like to, since you are looking at the books, you are probably unlikely going to know what any of them mean. But to read the titles, to get some details of them, please make a library use check.
I'm so good at libraries.
Okay.
I told you I'm so good at libraries.
He's like, these are books. I know what they are.
Words, I look at words on the computer screen all the time.
Okay, so
Start
success-wise,
from this side and go to this side.
who got a success?
After I got a hero
That's
point.
what I figured. Okay. And then obviously Jill. Okay. So you look at these books, okay? And Duke, for you in particular, you see things like you know, titles like the notes on alchemy. You see things like the other child. You see things like and you would know a lot of these, like you see books like The Sword and the Serpent. These are books that you would be, most of them are books that you are familiar with. But one in particular that sticks out to you is a larger book towards the center of it. And it is black in cover, except for it has what looks like a yellow sigil on the spine of it and nothing else.
Okay, so Duke's going to pick it up. It's going to turn to the rest of them. I was about to say this will sound very strange, but that doesn't seem to be a problem for us this morning. Seen a lot of people look at old, odd books like this and have very bad reactions. So if you could all step over there for a moment before he opens it up.
Who complies and who doesn't?
And if they all just give me a look, I will walk over to the piano and walk away from them.
I'm taking this in here.
I
So
will.
what is it, a pop-up book? What's going on?
I'll follow.
Right.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
say
I'll stay where I am.
Yeah, no, he wants to go read the book by himself. That's fine. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I can fail sanity checks from across the room. That's fine.
I can feel right here.
I want to. I feel like going off alone. I'm terrified of. So I will try and keep Duke company as he's going away.
Perfect.
By the way, when walking over to the bookshelf to get the book, he is being very, very, very careful not to look at any of the mirrors. He's not sure why.
He's like, I just know I shouldn't. I love it. So, Jill, you're looking and you're seeing books that say things like that, it's Miskatonic you. And it you're seeing things like Words of Innsmouth, and you're like, what? Like, you have these are like, you can read them. What this means to you, you have no clue.
Nothing. They mean nothing to me. That's
You're just like, oh, okay.
this
They
must be
travel.
old timey stuff. I don't know.
And Joanne, you got a success, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. You you particularly are focused on this section, and that you yourself are very familiar with. This is a section of the occult, and it's not just the occult in which Duke has grasped. This is, you know, alchemy of life, type things. Like eternity is like the name of a book, and you're like, what? Like you're just like, oh, okay. And then you hear, you read things like, you know, how to summon, and you're like, huh, that's weird. Weird summoning. Okay, and you yes, it's like how to summon for dummies is how I'm imagining it, just so everyone knows. So
Lovely.
yeah, and
Necronomicon, the Cliffs Notes.
right, it is. It's like Cliff Notes, Necronomicon. Oh, okay. And basically, this section in particular has to do with something you're actually pretty familiar with, at least to some degree, Skeleton Key, and it's transference and life essence and those types of things. Do you touch any of the books to grab to read?
No, because it would be snooping. She doesn't know how much Minnie or Roman would have put together about her.
Mm.
And so she doesn't want to impinge on their hospitality. They have taken wonderful care of her for the
Okay.
couple of days that she's been here. Mr.
Right.
DeVille has been unfailingly polite and
Charming, even, you'd say.
charming, delightful. Someone you could bring home to mother. And she, after seeing these, is like mentally thinking, do I need to call the Holiday Inn if they need bodies? Because I have bodies that I could
Right.
bring here.
Right.
If we've got if they have something they need to handle, I got cultists for days that we could just chuck in the meat grinder.
Perfect.
Like, give me a phone, I'll make a call.
Mm.
I'll
Yes.
Uber in.
Uber, you're gonna DoorDash some cultists. It's fine.
DoorDash some cultists in a second.
But yes, you so you don't touch them. That's fine. But do you share what you find with anybody?
No.
All right, Duke. You and Zoe have gone to the foyer next to the piano. And I would imagine against your wishes, Zoe goes with you. And
Zoe is now Duke's little sister. What you got?
She's like, what are you doing? Like, where are you going?
Irrepressible.
How short is Zoe compared to Duke?
Zoe is 4'11".
Oh,
yeah,
God.
she's very short.
Tiny.
She is full. She's going to pull a chair over to stand on it and look at what you're doing if necessary. She's going to be full cat going between the legs while you're just like, leave me alone.
Duke, what do you do?
I figure, if she chose to come with me, okay, Duke probably doesn't think in terms of consent, but that's that kind of concept. So gonna crack it open and see what we got.
Okay. I need you to get I need you to make a sanity check, and I need you to get an extreme success. Sorry.
Extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a failure. I'd be tempted to try to
You
use a
can.
hero point, but I like the poetic justice of it's just a flat out failure, so I'm
Yeah.
going to stick with it.
I love it. Okay. How much sanity do you have, Duke?
44.
Or
Right.
should we say did?
Right. You lose 11 instantly.
Oh, okay.
However, you feel compelled to keep looking at this book, and this book is written in a language that you can read, but you cannot comprehend what is on the page. From here, do you keep the book open and continue being compelled? Or do you try and close it and pull away from the compulsion?
Okay, so mechanical question. As written, Call of Cthulhu, if you lose a fifth of your total sanity points over the course of a session, you are indefinitely insane. 11 is more than a fifth.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, I will be sending you a message.
Here we go.
Now the stabby starts.
But the definition of losing your mind, right? Interpretive at best. But do you keep reading?
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Do you keep reading? Do you give in, or do you try to?
Oh, wow. He has been here before. And I think he wants so badly to stop. He's been down this road before, but he has been down this road before. He's given into this kind of thing before, and he keeps going.
Okay.
So is there any outward sign that he's struggling with this, or does it just look to us like he's reading a book?
Yeah.
So the person who would notice anything would be Zoe. However, currently, it just looks like he's reading a book. I will say that you notice there's a rigidity to him now, and his body. You are concerned. You can you feel concerned about this because you're like, okay, that's odd, right? What do you want to do, Zoe?
I think from the other room, you guys will hear. Reading a book's supposed to be a relaxing experience, usually, right?
No, unless it's a textbook.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to look like you're like stuck, or like you're held so tight that you can't stop reading. That's not normal.
Probably not. And when Zoe asked that question, Jonesy will kind of stop for a second and start paying more attention to Duke. So like he's like rigid, like spine unnaturally straight. Yo, Duke, you all right? Is that a taut thriller or what?
You get nothing.
Jonesy will try to slap the book out of his hands. It's gonna end badly for me. I know it.
But okay.
Like right from the bottom of the book and just pop out of his hands.
Man.
Like I used to do to kids in school because I was an asshole.
I guess I'm gonna have you make a brawl check, even though I feel like you're not trying to fight the book, you're just trying to get it out of his hand. But you need to hit it hard.
All
Listen,
right.
there've been some books I've wanted to that I've read that
I-
I've wanted to
right.
fight.
I
where
will
it's
tell
like,
you, Jonesy has multiple black belts. His brawl is 85.
I know. I do remember this.
I fucking love
Amazing.
the idea of you trying to slap the book out of Duke's hands and in doing
Right.
so also like nut tap him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do that.
And
Do one of those things, make him flinch.
yeah. So you are successful in doing so. You hit that book. Duke is there. What does that look like for you, Duke? He hits the book out of your hand.
So he turns like slowly toward you, and he reaches a hand inside his leather jacket, and I don't remember if Marie was present for that part of the auction. If she was, she knows that's where he keeps a sawed-off shotgun. But he pulls his hand out, and it's empty.
She was there, and the second his hand went in there, she was like Zoidberg type, like scooting out of the room, like no, just trying to like.
Yeah, it's not there. It's part of, I think, part of what he's lost. He quickly reaches around, realizes other things aren't there, and he's going to take just take a swing with a fist.
So for this, okay. See, this is where I'm like, I don't know all the rules yet. Sorry, guys. So as far as this goes, how we'll do this is, it's going to be his brawl against your dodge, I do believe, right?
Against my dodge?
Mm-hmm.
All right, probably not as good in dodge. I am not, but
So if you would roll brawl, Duke, and yes, okay.
Regular success.
Okay. You both, all right. So how this is going to go then, I'm definitely doing this wrong, but I don't care because this is how I imagine it in my brain. You hit Jonesy. But when you hit him, it's not like a connection, right? Like you don't connect with a like a punch to the arm, right? Like we're friends, Bob. Like that type of thing. It's not that kind, and it's not like a haymaker. You don't connect in that way. But you make connection. But it feels as if you are punching a pillow. And when he hits you, Jonesy, you feel the connection, but there's no pain. And you hear some noise in the kitchen, and out comes Millie. She comes and takes her hand and places it on Duke's shoulder and is like, now, there's no need for that. We're all friends here. And she goes and picks this book that was on the ground up. She's like, oh, this is a good one. And she's like, takes it and she places it inside her night coat. And she's like, I'll make sure it's available later today. But Duke, are you okay, friend? You seem upset. Jonesy, are you okay?
I'm fine. He was having some kind of an episode. I think he just needs to snap out of it.
Snap out of it. All right. Duke, what do you do here?
Fine. Complete flat affect. Just
Mhm.
and
Oh, I figured you would be. And she just smiles at you, Duke, and she is like, feel free to take anything else from the parlor to read. Um, but she's like, I'm gonna go get Roman. He should be awake already, and he's not. And so she like scurries upstairs, and you guys are both kind of staring at one another. What does Duke have any life in his eyes at all? What's that look like for him?
I think canonically he has sunglasses on, right? You said you put them on when you came downstairs.
Yeah, so I don't think you can immediately tell, but it does kind of seem, at least for the time being, it kind of seems like nobody's particularly home.
What's Jill doing?
Jill stayed in the other room, like she was told to. But when Jonesy went to the other room to see what was going on, I think she would have gone to the door. Like, she wouldn't have gone into the room, but she would have, like, watched from a distance.
You hear Roman coming down the stairs. Why doesn't everyone go get cleaned up? It's about to be breakfast time. And he is Duke. I actually have something I'd like to show you.
Of course.
Duke, I thought we were gonna go out in the garden to look at flowers.
I'm not sure he even registers that anyone's been speaking to him at the moment.
No, nothing.
I just
or at least other than their host.
Just like watches, just like so sad, like deflated as he's taken away, and I am just terrified at what the heck is going on.
The back of the house, Duke and Mr. Roman go. They make their way to the back. And as he's walking back with Duke, Duke's leading the way. Not that he knows the way, but he's just in front. And he looks back at everyone and is like, it is almost breakfast time, and Millie's worked really hard on this. Everybody go get dressed appropriately.
Oh.
Jonesy looks down. He's literally got the one set of clothes.
Do you all return to your rooms immediately? Or do you talk? And that's fine. You can.
Jonesy will take Zoe aside and say, "Look, I don't know what's happening, but that dude, I think he's fucking snapped."
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, what are they trying to do to us?
I don't know.
Not their original faces. Maybe they just took the places of them.
Look, I don't know how to read this. Like, you guys say you're from space. Like, I was a counselor at a summer camp. Like, and then I was here, and I don't know what even is going on anymore.
Is a counselor like a leader?
More like a babysitter, to be honest with you.
Maybe a babysitter?
Well, they weren't literal baby. We don't have time for this.
I usually just shoot a bunch of missiles at things and make them explode, and then that usually fixes my problems. But I don't think
Alright,
that would work here.
that does sound rad as hell. I'm not gonna lie.
Do they have
But-
computers here? Because I can see if I can do computers, like hack their computer or something.
There is no.
I haven't even seen
anywhere.
I haven't even seen a television here, so I don't think they have computers.
I'm all out of ideas then.
They've got they've got a rotary phone on the wall. It's like I haven't even seen
Really
one of
long
those
cord.
except for in pictures.
You say this, and it's almost as if you hear the radio get turned up a little bit, and it's still it's like a it's a Spanish guitar version, which this does exist, and I'm not telling anybody else where, but Jeepers Creepers is playing.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you get those peepers?
It's Spanish guitar, so it sounds awesome. you hear Millie in the kitchen just humming along, like this is just like one of her favorite songs she's ever heard.
I think they're trying to poison us by the food or drink or whatever it is. I don't know. Just don't eat it.
Joanne, you've been here for. Where the hell did Joanne go?
Marie.
She scuttled out of the room, right?
Marie
Marie,
went up,
sorry.
like she would have come back downstairs at this point. When she got cleaned up, did she run into Mr. DeVille, or is he downstairs already?
Hold that. I need to know if Jonesy, Zoe, and Jill go to their rooms. Like they've been
no.
told.
No, Jonesy is mentally back in the place where he was in when that bear trap snapped on his ankle. So he is.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, she's in the same kind of boat where she doesn't have like extra clothes. It's like this is literally. Why would I go back? I mean, there's not.
Yeah, there's literally nothing in my room.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Marie, you go up to your room
Yes.
to change and get ready for the day. And as you walk in, it's no longer like the window in your room. It's no longer like the morning sun. It's not dawn. Not it's an evening. And you have a dress that you're not super familiar with, but it feels like you've worn it before. And it's hanging in your room. And there's a note that says, "Wear me for dinner."
Put it on.
He's like, done.
It's asking politely. It's dressed. If I'm lucky, I can be like, do you need a helpful murder knife? I've got one. Also got a gun in my purse. Who do I need to kill? The stoner? I'll fucking do it, bud. What do I gotta do?
You put this dress on, and you walk out of your room, and you are met at the stairs by Mr. DeVille. Elijah, he says, "It's a lovely dress you're wearing." And you look at him, and he's also dressed nice.
I thought you were gonna say he's wearing a matching dress.
He's matching dress, like
One
nice.
is gonna have to change, Eli.
He's in a suit, like a tux. Like he's weird. I mean, he looks nice. And he goes to walk down the stairs with you and holds out his arm to you.
Mm-hmm. As I'm doing that, I'm going to reach into my décolletage and pull out the business card that I have, where it's like life coach,
I love
Marie
it.
West,
So
Paragon life coach,
So good.
and it has like a little symbol that is vaguely occulty, and slide that to him. I don't know how long you are in town in business, but if you ever consider looking me up after this dinner, that's where you can find me. You
And he
muted.
just smiles.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, he just smiles and he's like, "Are you suggesting?" He just pulls it and smiles and puts it in his coat pocket very quickly and continues you down the stairs. And when you get down the stairs, you see Jill and Zoe and Jonesy. Duke is nowhere to be found. And he says, "Well, good evening, friends, to you guys." And he's kind of like stunned and he's looking at you guys and um you all look down and you're not wearing the clothes in which you were.
What? Did I just blink and now it's night? Because what, didn't we just have coffee?
This
Oh.
is so weird.
Yeah, is the coffee still in my hand and is it still steaming?
Yes.
The fucked up jingling. Christ, is this shit? Oh my fuck, I'm going crazy.
What am I wearing?
You guys don't remember changing?
I didn't go upstairs.
Millie asked us to go upstairs.
They're just like dagger eyes at Marie from Zoe. Like full on.
No, I had to show you how the door worked again.
No, I don't think that's how it worked. But thank you for trying.
Are you insinuating that you got dressed in the lobby? How gauche. Just like follows into the.
Why is she being so mean all of a sudden?
My stars.
you all Jonesy, you're wearing a tux. Probably the first time you've worn a tux in years. Like
I used to have to on sports functions, but yeah,
right.
like at least 10
and
years.
you gave it up. You're like, I'm not doing this. I'm just gonna
This
go
freaking monkey
work at a
suit.
I'm gonna go work at a camp for kids. It's fine. You look nice. Zoe, your dress is beautiful and pink, just like you. And Jill, your dress reminds you of the spacesuit in which you wore often for travel or working.
Does it have a name badge on it?
Absolutely, it does. It feels very familiar. And in fact, for you, yes. For Zoe, because I'm drawing a blank on it and I had it written down and couldn't find my notes, so correct me if I'm wrong, okay, Mary? What color was Icarus?
Icarus is like a red, like magenta suit.
So the color in which your top was, right? Okay, that pink that you were wearing, it ombres into the same color as Icarus. And Jonesy, the more you look at your clothes, the more you're like, this is like exactly the suit I own. And you're like, and you actually look down and the cufflinks are a set of your father's that he probably would have lent to you to look presentable in the way that he felt it was appropriate. And all of a sudden you hear this Spanish guitar music filling the house now. And Mr.
Like, this
DeVille,
NPR bullshit. It's driving me insane. Who's playing this music?
and he's like, where is the other Duke, as I recall? And as soon as he says that, Minnie, Roman, and Duke come walking out, and they're all nicely dressed. Minnie looks like she's in heaven. Like, she is like so happy to be dressed up, and she's like, well, it's almost dinner time. And so she's like, make your way into the dining hall. And you're like, the dining hall? Like, what? Where the parlor was is a dining room. The bookcase still exists. The mirrors are still on the wall. The bar is a little bit longer. Little more organized and well stocked. I liken it to that of The Shining, in the movie The Shining, how it was very large. It is, and you go in there, and there's a couple of pictures on the wall now. Duke, what do you do from here? Minnie's like, let's go inside, guys. Let's go eat this dinner I made. Oh, can't hear you. You're muted, friend.
Okay. Yeah, red on black with sunglasses doesn't work. But he isn't wearing them anymore anyway. He's all buttoned up, tie and dinner jacket and everything. And I do apologize, friends. I was my behavior earlier was completely inappropriate. Come on, let's
go eat, guys. Come on.
Come and eat and make our amends.
And you hear Roman pipe up.
You.
You hear Roman pipe up, and you're like, yes, break bread with friends. And,
Jill's gonna lean over to Jonesy and be like, that's not how I normally talked, right?
No. He went from Easy Rider to Parlor Pink in like 13 seconds.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Neither do I. I'm terrified. I'm not gonna lie.
And so those feelings of like being in a haze or a daze and that pressure, all of that is gone for you, Jill. All of that is gone for you, Jonesy. You no longer like. You think now at this point that even if you were to go outside to smoke, you are not going to feel anything. And Roman ushers everybody in, lets no one stay behind. And the music is melodic. It's very, very chill, very beautiful. The settings are gorgeous. They everything is white except the napkins, which are red. And every glass is filled with a red wine, a white wine, and you look there. My brain has just dumped this information. The things that you
Cloche.
Thank you. My brain was like, I know there's a word for that. Cloches all over the table, in fact. And you smell, when you walk in, it's so fragrant. It smells delicious. Think of the favorite food that you love to eat as your character. So Jonesy's favorite food, Jill's favorite food, if she's like, it's like dehydrated strawberries, like whatever.
It's
That slop from the Matrix.
No, what was the Tang that they sent astronauts up there with? It's Tang and Gogurt.
My favorite.
whatever your character's favorite, as well as drinks. Okay, so alcoholic, non-alcoholic, whatever. They don't have to be, but you see sitting on the table is a Duke's beer. You see sitting on the table is a Shirley Temple. You see sitting on the table is 2 glasses of water and one with limes next to it.
Yeah, it's like a bacon double cheeseburger and a Coke.
Perfect. Like that's whatever it is, whatever that is what you're selling. It is like intoxicating to you. And she says, "Well, it's time to eat." And she's like, "Have a seat." Are you guys gonna sit?
Very hesitant. Like, I assume. So, what does the seating arrangement look like?
It is a large table, and oddly enough, all of you are on the same side. All of you.
Jonesy will pull out a chair for the people on either side of him, but before he sits down, he's like going to take a little look under the table.
Yeah.
And then when he does sit down, is there a steak knife in my silverware? Because I'm sliding that shit into the sleeve of my tux. If there is.
Totally fine. Yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
I thought you were gonna describe the weirdest way to eat like a double cheeseburger, like fork and knife.
Jonesy's eating them some weird ways, I think.
Just out of curiosity, is that everyone on one side, or am I on the other side of the table?
You are on the other side of the table with Mr. DeVille and with
compromise.
Lily and Roman.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, when we're getting the chairs out, does it look like there's any kind of restraints that could go on us?
No.
At all? Okay. So I'm also gonna slide a steak knife into my sleeve if possible. And I got my like Dino Nuggy chicken parmesan.
Yeah.
Dino Nuggy. Okay. Yeah. You are sitting. Everyone sits down and go on, Marie.
I'm gonna sit across from Mr. DeVille, and I'm going to follow his lead.
Yes.
But I'm going to take a moment to look. Hold on. I'm trying to think what the stat would be in Cthulhu.
For what? I'll help you.
It's not a vibe check, but it's kind of a vibe check.
There's like psychology, I think.
Psychology.
Right.
Or psychoanalyst.
Psychoanalysis is more for like, I think, when you're healing sanity back for people.
Right. Marie is trying to determine if she has made a positive impression upon Mr. DeVille, and eating is not going to get her
dead. I get it.
Dead, yeah. Because she is entirely willing to call other bodies in if necessary.
Right. No. Go ahead. Did you roll?
Psychology?
Did I miss it? Yep. I had to think about where I was going. Wow. Okay.
Thank you, RN Jesus. Or RN Cthulhu.
So, extreme success. Okay. You spent several decades studying people. I mean, you had to, right? To be a cult leader. You have to know people. And You can read, Mr. DeVille. You can read Elijah just fine. You are not in any danger. You are not about to be a meal. You are not to be about to be stuck into madness necessarily. Like there's nothing that you can see from him that is going to change what's about to happen for you or for anyone else. You are like, well, you're not getting bad vibes at all. You're actually getting like content
Great
and
peace
happy.
vibes.
Yeah, like things are fine.
Yeah, I will sit and have a lovely meal.
Perfect. Eating the food won't kill you there. I mean, yeah, you see. And then this happens. Mr. DeVille, Duke, Millie, and Roman, they all lift the cloches and on everything. They get everything off and they set them to the side. And it is a meal to be had. It is a sight to see. There is roast pig in the center. There is I mean, for lack of better terms, we're gonna say there's all of the fixins, like things like macaroni, right, and cheese, which was very 80s at the time. Like this is like the food that you're eating, but you're also seeing some meal, like some food that's like, sliced carrots and brown butter sauce, like these are things that are like it's gorgeous. It's beautiful and it is intoxicating. I need all of you to roll a sanity check except for Duke.
It's already gone.
Duke's already at 0.
Jonesy,
I
no! You left me in the insanity!
Hurry!
Like,
no!
my adrenaline has burned every ounce of marijuana out of my system.
So, Jill, you are going to lose 5 sanity. And you, my friend, are starving. And everyone else loses 1. Except for Duke, obviously, right now. Didn't even have to roll. And you, do any of you go for the food immediately? Or do you wait?
I'm not going for it at all.
I'm holding off. I'm like, I'll put stuff on my plate, but I'm like cutting it into small pieces and like doing the where you like bring it to your mouth, but you're dropping it in your lap napkin. So it looks like you're eating, but you're not really eating.
Okay. You go to cut the food. So and you can't. But you see Millie cutting it just so nicely, easily, and putting it on everybody's plate. Mr. DeVille is laughing and he's leaning over, whispering to Duke, and they're chuckling, and and he kind of looks at all of you and he's like, "Are you not hungry? We've been waiting all week for this."
Oh, sorry. I fast on weekends. It's a religious thing.
Oh. Surely you can make an exception.
Sorry. No. God, no, there's no wiggle room with God. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the same excuse I use at my friend's house.
Okay. So you're not. So Zoe's not eating. Jonesy's not eating. Duke is eating for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. DeVille is eating. Jill,
Mm-hmm.
you're starving.
I'm so hungry. You can hear my tummy rumbling.
You're starving. You go to cut the food because you're starving. You want to eat.
Uh-huh.
You cut the food just fine. You take a bite. It's delicious. It's the best food you've ever had. Marie, are you eating as well?
I'm following Mr. DeVille's lead.
Okay. Jill, how do you feel?
She doesn't like that she's eating this. Like, she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
But it's like, but she is so hungry. Like, she
It's
didn't eat
yeah,
last
it's
night.
ravenous. It's ravenous. Like, you are starving. You have, as Jill, experienced missions in which you've had to ration your food to get
Mhm.
through. This is nothing like that. This is infinitely worse. It's almost consuming.
Yeah, so she's not happy that she's eating, but so she'll try to put her stuff down and sit there for a little bit. I'm like, it was so good though. Yeah, she doesn't like that she's eating, and she's
Okay.
hesitantly eating.
Two of you that did not eat anything. You begin to hear what I only could say is, like, not only do you hear this Spanish guitar, you hear over it almost words that are like whispers. And you hear things like, psh, psh, psh. Like, you hear this and you are trying to make it out. You can, two choices here. Make a sanity roll and hope for the best, or you can make a listen roll and also hope for the best.
You dig
Have a
in,
better
friends.
chance with.
Dig in.
So
have a
good.
better
Uh,
I think I have a better chance with sanity. I'm not going to
Same.
lie. I'll roll the sanity.
Okay.
Son of a
I'm gonna
bitch.
go with sanity. Oh
Can I
man,
use a hero point?
hero points.
Go for it.
Oh,
Oh, god damn, I failed that one too.
You did. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Man, when you fail, you
I
just
have-
fail.
I fail hardcore. I don't fuck around. I think I have enough luck points to push it though.
You can't push. You can't
You
use
can't.
luck points for sanity.
Oh, I can't use luck on
You
sanity.
can't.
Shit. Do we have any more hero point?
I mean,
We have a lot,
We have a
but
lot.
you've already used one, so you can't use another for the same role.
Fuck. Okay.
Sorry, Jones.
What a delicious cheeseburger.
You what is your sanity at, Jonesy?
57.
What did you start with?
65.
Going to lose. Oh, we'll roll for fun here. Ooh, that's rough. Sorry, friend.
No, you're not.
I mean, little. You lose. You lose 12 sanity for that. And you are also now consumed with this hunger.
Worst
All right,
emotions I've ever had.
There is a tear
So
rolling
good.
down my face. Tears rolling down my face as I'm eating this, though.
Yes, good. Everybody eat.
It's like, I don't want to be eating either.
In between bites, he's just gonna say, "Fucking run, Zoe, run."
Zoe, as he says this to you, what do? You see him eating against how you know he feels that he does not want. You know that he's like, I'm not eating. I'm not gonna eat. I'm fine. Religious reasons, right? Like, Josie's doing his best here. He's compelled to eat. He's starving. Yeah, like very.
I look like Duke when he's reading that friggin' book.
Empty, rigid. Yes.
I'm trying to look for exit routes. I think that like soldier brain is going off and is like, this
You
is an
know
unsafe
exactly where the
place.
exit is. It is exactly where it was. Where the parlor is. Parlor is right next to the exit.
I want to get the hell out of here. I'm running.
Okay.
Goes.
All right. You get, and Mr. DeVille is like, well, I hope she is okay. And you, my friend, I'm gonna need you to make another sanity check.
All right.
Sorry, it's gonna get rough, guys. This is
Oh
the
no,
end.
it's how it works.
I don't,
Yeah,
there's
sorry.
very little-
74 of 77.
Woo!
So
I'm gonna give you a
bad.
villain point and make you re-roll that.
All right.
Oh,
yes,
God.
much better.
Now my tears are blood.
Hey, we got matching.
You go.
Oh wait, I got to re-roll? I did not re-roll. Hold on.
No.
Nope, that's a 99. Yep, I fail.
Okay. I don't feel bad about this at all. You you go to leave and you hear Millie in the distance. No, honey, you don't have to go. You're always welcome here. And you go to open that door and you step outside and you're back in the parlor. You try to do it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it again. Like you just walk to the front door of the building. It's like you were just walking in for the first time. You're there again, and
Oh no, I'm in a loop. Okay, I am just gonna go stomp over to the table and sit down like a petulant child.
oh, and you see Mr. DeVille. Very nice of you to join us again. I appreciate your company. And he says, I'm so glad you all are here with us. It's lovely. And he grabs Marie's hand and gives it a kiss and sets it down. And, I know you guys are planning on leaving, but we can't have that.
Why?
And you ask that, Duke stands up and has the book in which Millie took earlier and places it down on the table. Says, what do you say to them?
My inclination was to start reading to them. I know it made me a happier person.
Excellent. Perfect.
Remind Jonesy, it's just like story time. I thought, beautiful, lovely camp of yours. And he starts to read.
Oh, I start choking on my food.
Yeah, you guys, and that's where we're gonna end.
I don't ever die. It's always worse than death.
Yep, every time.
The cult leader is in a cult.
It happens. There's an offshoot. Listen.
Cult leader is now following a cult leader.
Sometimes you got to bang a few demons. What do you got to do?
Sleep your way to the bottom, am I right?
So yeah, that's.
Hey, I'm having a lovely dinner. I'm not sobbing as I'm eating a big.
The food is delicious. It doesn't taste bad. It's not hard to eat. It's delicious. Man, Duke, I'm sorry. You just got wiped.
You know,
Right.
given what happened to Duke last time, it seems kind of appropriate. But
At least this time, there's no despair or torment. Like you're feeling fine. Like
Jonesy did nothing to deserve this.
right.
Jonesy, you're not in a
Just
bear
listen-
trap. You're not eating. You're having a
Look,
Big Mac.
You're just
My friend
Elderly couple.
said, "Be a counselor. You'll probably get laid this summer. It'll be fine." And now I'm friggin' here.
This is the worst rehab Jonesy has been to.
right. This
That was
is
just one joint. It's done.
This was very much inspired by Hotel California. It was also very much inspired by the Cthulhu mythos in general. And I regret nothing. So I'm going to have everybody go around very quickly. Thank you for hanging out and sticking this out. Sorry, it went a little bit longer than it was probably supposed to. But I would start with Karish. You go first, my friend.
Okay.
You were at the bottom on my screen. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Hi, I'm Karish. You can find me online, either Karish or Karish Valendar. I don't know what's I got going on. You can catch me. I think
If
this.
you can.
Yeah, right. What do I have going on that day? I will be back here Thursday. Or Friday, Wednesday. Sorry. Wednesday, not Thursday. Wednesday for Turkey Hell, which is a continuation of our Halloween themed one shot, which is now, I guess, a holiday multi-shot. Last time we did a haunted house. This time, I don't know what we're doing. My cook is probably just going to pass out stew and try not to burn down the entire circus like they did last time.
Salmonella will be involved.
King in yellow shows up. What?
I'm working on also for this channel. I'm working on the MechFinder YouTube series, which will be coming out sometime next yearish. Pretty excited for that. I'm also in the process of recording a Dungeon World podcast, also probably going to be released next year. I was trying to think if I got anything on stream. Not really, besides the thing on
The holidays
Wednesday.
are coming up, so
Yeah,
that's all right.
It's like, yeah.
All right. We're gonna go to Steve.
I'm Steve, Tall Halfling on most of the socials, Tall Halfling RPG on a couple of them. Actually, for the first time the first time this year, I don't know what my next streaming game is. I'm usually playing a whole bunch of them, but not at the moment. I'm doing a bunch of audio and video editing for a couple of different streams, but they haven't quite come out yet, so can't really talk about those.
Right. Joanne, you're.
I'm Lil Bunny Fufu, FOOFOO, on the tweeters and the Blue Sky, and also on the Twitch. I'm probably going to be streaming some Dead by Daylight this week. Not sure what day. It depends on where the stars align with work and everything else. I don't know if I'm going to be in any of the upcoming games yet because casting calls just went out. But that's me.
Nice. Okay. Jason, you're up, my friend.
Hi, I'm Jason. On Twixter, I'm JJSYNN. In most other places, I'm some version of Graphical Ronin, usually with an underscore in between. This Thursday, I will be on Weave the Tale, finishing up a mini campaign in Mere Fantasy. Fridays, not this Friday, but most Fridays, I'm in an ongoing campaign of like a modified 5e on Ruinous Paths D&D. I'm currently playing the great grandson of my last campaign's character, so that's fun. Sometime soon we'll be coming back to Duskgrave and fishing up Nerd on Wheels and I. Zoe actually is one of the characters in that, and I play another one. Holly and I are actually working on a straight to YouTube thing for the Lost Caravan, which hopefully is going to get off the ground very soon and start pumping that out. And
Pump it.
geez, I
real
think that's
good.
it for now. I may or may not be doing something on High Shelf in December. I'm still waiting to hear back on that. But other than that, I'm
Mary,
just
my friend.
cruising.
I'm Mary. On Twitter, you can find me at Nerd on Wheels 15. Everywhere else, you can find me at the Nerd on Wheels. Coming up Tuesday, we're back over on 2000 Tales for a new episode of the Struggle Bus, where we are going over the D&D alignment system and basically creating a Thunderdome of what character fits what alignment. Everyone's bringing their 3x3 grid, and it's going to be a really interesting discussion on who fits what. Wednesday, you can catch me on Enchanting Sorcery Productions for Halia's Harriers, Fandelver and Below. We are playing the new D&D setting, a new twist on the Zentarum. It's a lot of fun. Then on Friday, you can see me over on 2000 Tales Roleplay for Sigil and Shadow, a whimsical horror supernatural TTRPG actual play. And then at some point, you can find me here for Duskgrave and see Zoe in her mech suit and able to shoot missiles. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be terrifying. So many villain
She
points.
wreaks havoc with those things.
Yeah. She's a little chaos gremlin. That's what I got going right now.
Awesome, thank you. So that just leaves me. I'm Holly. I'm at OMG Holly D everywhere on the internet. Let's be friends. I want to say thank you to my friends for letting me entrap them in their worst nightmares. You are great. But also, Lost Caravan will be streaming again later this evening. And if you like what we do, please join our Discord. Give us a follow on Twitch. We are trying to get to 1,000 followers by the end of this year. And it was really exciting because, yes, well, another time. Yes, please join our Discord. Jump in and apply for our one-shots and campaigns that we do. I was your keeper, so other than that, thanks, friends. That's it. We'll see you later tonight. Bye. Look for some Pathfinder, right? Yeah, Pathfinder.
Yeah, it's James.